Hi, my name is Tomasz. I'm an executive producer at CA Games working on Lords of the Fallen.
Let's talk a little about this game. What were your goals heading into it?
Lords of the Fallen is an action RPG, and we definitely wanted to make sure that among all the RPGs out there, Lords is the game that feels more on the action side. So it's quite heavily user experience driven kind of game, whereas it stands out from the game that are more of a story driven or character driven. We are trying to make sure that what is the biggest amount of fun that you get while playing Lords of the Fallen is learning the mechanics of the game and how to fight actually. That, of course, being said, we're not leaving the story behind. So we believe that story in Lords of the Fallen is going to be interesting enough for people to actually discover it on its own and try to play it for the story if they want to. But it's worth noting that this is a challenging game. So there's a whole difference between games that you can actually finish without having to learn the basis of their mechanics and games like Lords of the Fallen. So you'll have to do it in that game.
So let's talk about the protagonist and who people will be playing through as.
The hero, or the anti-hero, I should probably say, of Lords of the Fallen is a predefined character. You won't be able to customize the body of your character, his looks. He's Harkin, the guy that you're going to be playing in Lords of the Fallen. Where he comes from, that's an interesting story, because of the events that took place in the world of the game. We actually made this world up ourselves because we wanted to be a world that fits our philosophy of the gameplay sort of driven development. We made a legend that drives everything that happens in the world of Lords of the Fallen. So a couple thousand years ago, people have fought and defeated their god and his army, his demonic army, and because of that, because of what happened, they believe since then up to now, they have believed all that time that evil can be completely wiped out from human nature. Whether that's reasonable or not, I'm not going to argue, but it's actually what they believe. It's the basis and the foundation of what humanity is in the world of the game. And because of that, they also have made out the codex of the most deadly sins that humans can commit, and whoever commits either one of these sins is tattooed across his face to be marked forever as an outcast, so that everybody knows that that's a bad guy, and we're trying to get rid of guys like this from our world. So that's very important. That's the very basis of what happens in the world. And now when the game starts, the demons raid the earth again. Nobody knows why, but it's only natural for humans, as I've described them and as I've shown them in this world, to think, hey, maybe we should fight evil with evil. So what they do is they seek out for the human that has committed the most deadly sins, the most anti-hero, and the guy that is actually for them the impersonification of evil as it is. And here's where our hero comes in. His name is Harkin, and he's the guy who's committed the most deadly sins out there. But what is interesting is because of that, he can look at what is happening from a slightly different angle than a lot of people. He's not looking at killing demons as something extremely bad that I would never think about. It's just a tool for him. He can do it. He can make it. And if you take that role, you're probably going to be learning how to fight them, and it's going to be extra satisfying, I think.
Can you walk us through the three classes in the game?
Primarily, the choice that you have at the beginning regarding character development and character class is you choose one of three classes, but because there are three pillars of character development in Lords of the Fallen, you lock down only one of them at the beginning. That is a spell tree, because there are different spells for different classes that you choose. They pretty much manifest your playing style. Like Warrior wants to boost his damage, Rogue wants to become invisible, and Cleric will want to probably regenerate and stuff like that. But apart from that, the other two pillars are stats of your character, the attributes, and these are class independent, and the gear. You can find a lot of gear, both armors, weapons, also shields, and some of that will also be craftable. So there's a lot of freedom, but also at the same time wanted to make sure the choice at the beginning is meaningful. So there are things that you lock down with choosing the class at the beginning.